Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Rob with Racing's Natural Aquariums, and I'm coming to you with number 2 in the channel Spotlight. Stay tuned. Hey FishTube, YouTube, and Fish fam, this is Rob with Racing's Natural Aquariums, and I'm coming to you with a second in the channel Spotlight series. Today, it's my pleasure to introduce to you EJ Brinegar and Raleigh from Fish Keeping Jamaica. So let's go check them out and tell me what you think.
Hi, Mr. Brinegar. I hope I got the name right this time, right?
Hi Raleigh, I can't be more clear. It's pronounced just like vinegar. Just replace the V with BR, Brinegar. It's just that simple.
Thank you for allowing me to be on your channel. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome, Raleigh. It's a pleasure to have you on my channel. You are a very experienced aquarist and love to have you.
Last week we had a fulsome discourse on breeding tetra. I know you have another exciting topic this week, so I look forward.
Yes, I do have another topic, and I would like to discuss the culturing of live foods for your fish and invertebrates.
I like that topic. With expected rains during the rainy season comes the issue of mosquitoes, right? I really breed their larvae for fish food. At times I might forget to, I might forget in timing so as to go and check on them, and whoops, mosquito develop, and I might end up with issues with regards to having a lot of mosquitoes within, my community.
Raleigh, glassworms or mosquito larvae make an excellent food. However, the adults are pests, and so I try to avoid culturing them in the infusoria cultures behind my house. This year I'm trying something new. I'm putting socks on apple juice containers, and the water seems to be turning green, so the infusoria get plenty of oxygen, and I believe this is going to work out just fine.
Live food is usually fed to my fish fries, like my cichlid fries and my goldfish fries, right? Small fish. I too practice to feed my fish infusia and daphnia, and at times insect from around the yard. Being that you have a defined cold period each year, how difficult is it for you to culture your live food?
The only live food that I culture that is limited by the weather are the Daphnia magna. They do fine during the cold months when I cannot offer them infusoria. I've kept the same culture going for about 18 years, so they don't lie dormant, but they do survive on what infusoria cultures inside the glass jars or the gallon jars inside the house. But as soon as I can culture green water for them, I add that, and I get explosions of live food from my fish. The other live foods that I culture are blackworms and fruit flies. These I culture year-round in the house. I also hatch Artemia brine shrimp for my fry. So this is also done year-round in the house.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I got some plants from a friend, and they had daphnia on the roots. Ever since, regardless of the water change I've done, regardless of the siphoning I've done with my ponds and tanks, I'm always in stock of having little creatures called daphnia. Do you get daphnia culture to purchase in stores, whether it be in your agricultural shop or pet shop? How do you go about getting cultures such as brine shrimp or these varied live food for your fish to be fed with?
I purchased my Daphnia culture in a pet store around 99 or 2000. They had huge jars of them in the pet store, and much more in a gallon, probably at least 30 gallon, well, perhaps 20 gallon jars. And I purchased a culture of them, and I've kept them going for about 18 years.
Many persons ask, can these small creatures satisfy large fish stock? What would you respond to them? Say.
Currently, I am up to 15 one-gallon jars of Daphnia. I have 2 vases to culture blackworms. Of course, I wind up getting blackworms in the substrate of my tanks, in the bottom of 5-gallon buckets where I keep used aquarium water to do water changes on the blackworms. Fruit flies are not a problem at all. I always have way more than I can feed my fish, but I keep my fish going with flake food and produced pellets as a staple food. Live foods are a treat, and I try not to overfeed them, particularly blackworms, because as I understand it, these are high in fat, and I don't want my fish to develop fatty livers.
Wow, that's cool. For me, I know these creatures are packed with enough proteins to get the fish fries growing really fast. So I try to get a culture colony going in my
I don't
fries.
feed Daphnia to my fry. I strain the Daphnia through a brine shrimp net and offer these to the adults. For the fry, I offer Artemia nupli, brine shrimp. And this seems to be the best food for fry. Very high in protein and little fat at all.
Regarding infusion, I do make infusion, but only for my goldfish. It really have a foul smell. How do you manage the smell of infusion, feeding it to your fish stock?
I only culture infusoria during warmer months outside, so any odor is completely unnoticeable.
Have you ever fed your fish? Have you ever tried using green water to feed your fish stock?
Unfortunately, yes. When I first began breeding Colombian tetra, I felt that the tiny hatchlings would need to have infusoria as a first food. I offered green water to them and lost more fry than I saved. So the green water fouls and this poisons the fish. So I start Colombian tetra with brine shrimp, and of course guppy fry are plenty large enough to start with brine shrimp. I understand there are, for example, zebra danios would need to start on infusoria, or microworms, I think they're called glass eels. Some of these tiny cultures, I don't culture any of those foods. So brine shrimp is a starter food for all my fry.
Interesting. Yeah, I've heard of it several times, but I've never really tried it. But the ponds being out there, the water becomes green eventually, and the fish look happy anyway. Brine shrimp is not readily available in Jamaica. I would not say it does not exist, but the culture can be had but the culture cannot be had. You can't get it, simple put, at local fish stores in Jamaica, right? Do you get local fish? Do you get brine shrimp at local fish store? How does it work in culturing brine shrimp?
For most of my aquarist hobby, I purchased vials of brine shrimp at pet stores, and the price has gone up to about $5 a vial. The price is ridiculous. You can go to Brine Shrimp Direct and order online, and they are much cheaper. The eggs there, I've had a real good experience with Brine Shrimp Direct, and I'll leave a link in the comment section.
Wow, that's cool. Really cool. You could open a consultant company for that aspect of the fish keeping.
I have no desire to be a salesman. My aquarist hobby is confined to the joy of keeping fish and invertebrates.
I really love the idea of live food, but the idea of giving my fish live food every day is impossible, totally impossible. My time schedule will not allow for this. I have a regular 9 to 5 job and social responsibilities as well as special responsibilities at my workplace, right? Family, hobby, YouTube, and other personal issues and other things, right? How do you find time to become an avid practitioner of using live food to feed your fish?
All of the live food that I culture are easy to maintain. The most difficult are the blackworms, which require frequent water changes, but I have this down to a science, and I can do water changes in both vases in about 3 to 5 minutes. So as long as I do that daily, the water doesn't foul. The Daphnia are no trouble at all. The fruit flies are very easy to maintain. So I have a ready supply of live food for my fish, and also hatching brine shrimp. This isn't difficult at all.
I'm really liking the idea of us sharing that. It seems as if whatever you wish to discuss, I'm also enthused. Do you regard yourself as a hobbyist within the fish keeping hobby, or do you engage others to hopefully become financially rewarded in the future? Because practically everybody, well, most persons on YouTube, their ultimate goal is to get money on YouTube.
Again, Raleigh, I am not in this for the money. I love aquatic life. I want to maximize the health and happiness of my pets and that of others through networking.
For me, just like you, I'm in this because I love fish keeping. As a teacher, I'm encouraged to share what I've discovered and what I have experienced. I consider myself always learning and never beyond correction. Financial rewards, though tempting, and probably might be the final outcome of anyone's desire, in a sense, right? Financial rewards, like you, is not my ultimate priority. Financial reward is like, if it happens, it happens.
A very
That's just
important
me.
aspect of this hobby is to have a teachable spirit. So, yes, I am not an aquarium elitist. I don't think that I know it all. This is an art as well as a science, and I have gained invaluable information since I began YouTubing from the Fish Fam community, and I'm very
Thank you
grateful.
very much, Mr. Brinegar, for inviting me. Thank you very much for the discussion. Thank you very much for sharing me your fish keeping experience. I look forward for future collaboration in which we can share other topics together, right? Thank you very much from Fish Keeping Jamaica, and Mr. Brinegar, say your last piece with regards to.
Thank you so much for joining me, Raleigh. It's always a pleasure. You're a very informed, very likable person.
What? 2 channels for the second in my channel Spotlight series. Pretty cool just how vast the Fish Fam is. This was a collaboration from 2 gentlemen from 2 different parts of the world. That's pretty awesome. And that is what the Fish Fam is all about. Sharing the hobby, sharing the passion, and getting to know one another. So guys, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up, and also share it, get it out there. But more importantly, get me your video so that I can spotlight you next. This is Rob with Racing's Natural Aquariums, wishing you a blessed day. God bless, and as always, keep those sleeves wet.